Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Tommy Talks. This week, we are joined by the Wiz, the most exciting forward in the competition. Nick Watson, how are you, brother?
Going well. Thanks for having me.
Mate, great to have you in. We've had Guinea, we've had a few other boys, but it's good to have the Wiz in the building.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here on Tommy Talks. Rocking a fresh kit, Nana Judy.
Fresh kit, yep. Nana Judy's come to the party. You're a big fan of the pants, you said. That's the go these days, the baggy pants.
Yeah, I am. I love the baggy pants, and hopefully I can cop myself a pair as well.
Well, I got a little treat for you later. Our friends at Nana Judy, if you want your premium men's lifestyle kind of kit, they've got something for you. So I should have just told you to put it on beforehand because you've come straight from training, haven't you?
Yeah, straight from training, rocking a pretty casual kit, but yeah, it doesn't match yours.
I must say, these pants are elite. What is it with the thick pants these days? I was always a skinny jeans man, but now I'm rocking the thick setup. I'm pretty skinny, so I don't mind the thick pants.
I love it. That's all I rock. I don't rock no skinny jeans anymore. Like Connor Nash at Hawthorn still rocks the skinny jeans. So, I'm all for it. I love it.
Well, you've just alluded to maybe a question later. Who needs some help with their fashion? I reckon it might be the great
Going
man.
early.
Very good, mate. Well, how you going anyway? What's been happening?
Not a lot really. Just had first 3 rounds, which is been good for us, Hawthorn especially. Obviously went up to Sydney opening round, which was a good hard-fought win, and then played 2 big games at the MCG and knocked off Essendon Carlton, which is always good, and 3-0. No one really expected it. Well, had a bit of expectation, but obviously they're tough games, and good to be 3-0 and going into GWS this week.
You wouldn't have lost many games you've played. Like since you've arrived, the boys have been flying.
Yeah, we had when I first got drafted, we started last year, we were shocking. I think first 3, 0-5, but from then I got injured after that, and then from then, once I come back in the side, I've rarely lost a game except for a couple.
I love it. Nothing better than winning. Let's go back. So to set the scene for everyone watching and listening, I just want to talk about, growing up, and then we'll get straight into it because I don't want to waste too much time. But I just want to know, where you went to school, growing up, and then I've got a quick question about your height and when you found out that, you think you can make it in the big league. Yeah,
so I went to school. I went from year 7 to year 10. I went to Rowville Secondary College. Had all my best mates out there, and then made the move to Caulfield Grammar in year 11. So
little scholarship job.
Yeah, it was good, and it was a hard move because all my best mates are at Rowville and everything, and Caulfield obviously wasn't the best academic wise, and making the move to Caulfield was big for. Not just footy, but academic wise, and
the tie, the blazer.
I know.
It's a bit of an adjustment, isn't it? I did the opposite. I went from private to public.
Oh, really?
Grouse.
Yeah, it was. It was a good move, but it was a completely different school, and a lot of training at Rowville during school times, not much school, and the complete opposite at Caulfield. But loved the school footy side of it mainly, really. Playing in front of those big crowds at school footy. Was awesome, and obviously played my juniors all at East Ringwood. Won a few premierships there. I think we had a 3-peat back in the day, which was good.
Oh, no, that's not easy.
And then obviously Eastern Rangers as well, and all those levels.
I love it. Now, how tall are you? 170?
169.
170. What are you? Are you cheating?
I jumped from 169 to 170 every year, so I'm copping 170.
You should put the old Michael Talia specialist at draft camp. He doesn't play anymore, but he's a fullback. He's undersized.
Yeah.
He used to put those little jelly things that you put, those little heel, what are they called? He used to put them in his socks because they take your shoes off.
I've done something similar. Back when I was 16 at the Vic Metro camp. I wanted to crack 170 for that long, and I've chucked on 3 pairs of socks.
That's
Still 168.
And you got it?
Nah, 168.
Oh, so didn't get it. That's so you would have been, 164?
That's it.
But it makes a difference. Like these recruiters, they go through everything, and it turns them off when you're a bit too small.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then I rocked up to the measure height place, and it looked like I had a fat foot, but it was just 3 pairs of socks.
It's good. 3 socks is dedication.
Yeah, I know.
It's an issue though. Like when you're small and you're very good at football, I could name probably 3 that I grew up with that didn't get the chance. It's not easy because everyone always knocks the height thing in the next level. It's a bit different now in AFL, but when you were going through the juniors, when did you feel like, I know I can dominate any league with my height?
Yeah, growing up, before I got to about 17, I was playing midfield all my juniors and everything, and I was sort of a natural midfielder. I didn't really play forward. I was just kick goals from the mid. But it sort of got to around 17. I knew I was going to be small, but I had a good chance. I felt like I worked hard enough that I was going to be able to make it, and sort of prove people wrong, because obviously growing up and always tiny, everyone's going to say you're too small to make it. And I had Boomer in my ear from about 15. I know I've mentioned it a bit, but I've always said to him that I want to keep growing, and he goes, "No, you don't. You want to stay small. Promise ya." So all creds to him, and he's sort of been in my ear, ever since about 15.
Love it. Little small craft. Boomer Harvey you're talking about?
Yeah, Boomer Harvey, yeah.
Well, mate, there's no one as good as him.
No,
and as durable
exactly.
as him. He could still do it. We were just talking about LeBron off air, how he hit the game winner today at 40, but Boomer could probably still play.
Yeah, he's still fit.
Is he fighting Hayden Ballantyne? I think Ballas is fighting someone I saw online. I think he is. Someone can confirm that at the back. My man Ballas, that'll be nasty work there. I don't want to see Boomer get it. I mean, Ballas can fight, so hopefully that's a good fight. Now, talk to me about upbringing, because I've heard that your old man still struggles to this day to watch the Pies play the Hawks, because you were a mad Collingwood fan, and so was your whole family. So give us a bit of an insight to that.
So obviously growing up, I had no option. I was a Collingwood man from the start, and my whole family was. So it was pretty cool. Got to watch the 2010 grand final. Loved Dane Swan back in the day, Pendles and all those types of players.
Lee Brown was pivotal in that one, was it?
Lee Brown.
You remember Brownie?
Oh,
Lee Brown, he's a utility forward, ruck.
If you get a
He was best on in the bloody granny almost. Come on, mate. You had to go for the Pies. Lee Brown,
I was 5 years old.
No, 5 years old. I'll let you off.
Yeah, but obviously growing up watching Collingwood, got to last year, and Dad, obviously we sort of hated Hawthorn growing up as well, because they were a good side. And it took my family a bit to switch up. I think it took them to about when we started playing good and they started playing shit. They switched up pretty easily, but round 19 was a good win over them. We smacked them, and obviously it was good for Guinea as well to have 31-2.
He dominated that game, innit? Did he set himself for that game? Like, was he saying to you, I'm going to creep up the field, or is it just business as usual?
To be honest, he didn't say much leading up to the game. We normally drive in together, and he wasn't really talking like, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that against the old mob, until at halftime I looked up, when we were walking off, I looked up at disposals and he had like 18. I was like, mate, what are you doing? Are you playing mid or what? So, good on him. Good on him for showing them what they missed out on.
Yeah, it is good to see people do that. It's funny when you look at the screen, isn't it? Like, I remember when you're getting beat, you wouldn't know this, but sometimes you're like, wow, because I used to get dropped every time I'd play pretty much. And you'd look up and you go, well, I'm on the board, so I'm all right. Half time, I've got 12, look, I'm on there. Someone else must be going pretty average if I'm up there.
When you're having a good stat line and it comes up on the board, so nothing better.
What else, mate? I've heard you might have been very good at footy, but terrible at cricket. Is there good mail there? I've heard you're very average.
Nah, I know me, Abe and Guinea went to the cricket nets not long ago and had a bit of a swing, and Guinea was shocking to start off, and we were doing like a challenge, like a loser has to eat 10 Yochis or something, something outrageous. And Guinea was shocking the first one, and I was shit the second one. So Abe got let off the hook, but that's not my sport at all.
What other sports did you play growing up?
Basketball. So I played basketball growing up until about 15. They told me I was a bit too small, and it was an easy option, but played representative basketball as well for Kilsyth Cobras. So played at actual high level, just to run under people's legs, really.
What was your, if you could compare yourself to any player in the NBA, like what are we talking? Is like CP3 type setup?
Yeah, I always say CP3. Bit of Ja Morant. Joking.
Without the dunk. Without the dunks.
I wish I could dunk.
Oh, mate, we all wish we could dunk. Yeah. He's a freak, Ja.
Yeah, I love him.
Who was your favourite player?
Ja and Edwards.
Yeah,
Ants. Love the blokes who just talk shit and back it up.
Well, Ants probably got a cleaner rep, so you probably got to go him.
Yeah, I know.
Ja kind of pushed himself a little bit with all the guns and that.
Yeah, he pissed me off for a bit, but
yeah,
on the Ant-Man train now.
Ant-Man train. It's going to be interesting. We're going to talk a bit NBA at the end because it's the finals around the corner and we might as well get right into it. Let's talk about footy. When did you pick 5 on it in the national draft?
Yeah, pick 5.
That's very tough to do for a small forward. It's well done as well. Like, clearly you can see why, but it's amazing when when your name gets read out and you get to the club and you start having a year like you did. Like, how would you sum it up?
Yeah, it was a tough lead up to the draft. You sort of know you're going top 10, but you don't know where, and you just you could go interstate. And then I finished school around September, and then
how'd you go on the ATAR?
I did unscored.
Oh, you weak dog.
I know. I wasn't doing, mate. Caulfield's average ATAR like 93 or something.
You better off just not. I slept, so I should have done what you did because my mum was like 29.
They sort of advised me just go do unscored.
Because you know you're getting picked up before the exam results come out. So you go, well, I've kind of got you sorted.
Yeah, I know, which was a good feeling. But between those, there's like 2 months between school finished and the draft. So those 2 months you're sitting around just doing absolutely nothing. All I could do was see mates, had a few interviews every now and then, and go talk to your manager. Where am I going? So it was a good lead up. To be there on the night as well with all your mates was pretty cool. And Hawthorn sort of play a weird game with the draft. They give you nothing. So it was sort of, I feel like it was out of me or Dan Curtin that went to Crows, and they sort of give you nothing leading up. And I'm texting my manager. I'm like, oh mate, where am I? Like, am I going Hawks or what? What's the go? And they go, oh, like they've been asking Dan Curtin's manager, like how many is he bringing? So I was like, oh, so Dan Curtin's going Hawks. I might be going somewhere else. And they sort of played it weird. They didn't give my manager nothing until obviously he read my name out of pick 5, which was a good feeling. And Sam said they were picking me all along. So they play a different type of draft game, which I don't mind, to be honest. But
chess, not checkers.
I know.
You got to do that, though, at pick 5 because if someone takes you, it cooks them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it was thankful for the opportunity. It was a bit of a rough start for myself and Hawthorn, but started to get the mojo late last year.
Oh, mate, not a rough start at all. You're too hard on yourself. You're only, 18? How old are you now?
20, just turned 20.
Yeah, you're 19 years old last year. Give us a spell. You dominated. It's funny. Did you have any who had pick 6 and 4?
Pick 6.
Like who was the pick before Hawthorn?
North Melbourne.
Who'd they take again?
Zane Duursma.
Oh, yeah, good play. And then who went?
I think
pick 6?
Pick 6 was Dan Curtin.
Oh, yeah, nice. So it was all
Adelaide.
And did you feel like you were going to either of them?
Oh, no, pick 6 was Sanders, sorry. Riley Sanders to Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah, he's a gun. Yeah, so did you feel like you're going to, like, what other clubs were hot? If Hawthorn were cold, who was hot? And where do you think your range started?
Pick 6 Bulldogs, I felt like was a chance, and pick 7 to Melbourne, which my best mate went to, Caleb Windsor.
Gotcha.
So it was around sort of that arc. I thought North maybe, but a bit high.
Yeah. No, you've done well.
Yeah.
But it's great timing.
Yeah, it was very good timing.
Now, draft camp, right? When you're going, I'd imagine you would have spoken to a lot of clubs. Did you have any weird questions or interviews?
Not that I can actually remember. I got let off the hook a bit. I know some of the boys got some weird ones, but I was definitely expecting some, but I actually didn't really get many. I know some boys, like, I think it was the Essendon recruiters asked one of the boys to sing the Collingwood theme song or something like that.
Like, say that again.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I can't remember who it was, but they asked the Essendon recruiters. I might not be right, but the Essendon recruiters asked someone to sing the Collingwood's theme song or something because they went for Collingwood. So
that is outstanding.
That's what I remember. But there was a few.
What did we have? That's weird. We had the form guide. Someone had to read out. So you had the form guide.
Oh yeah.
It could have been from last week, and you had to call a race.
Yeah, right.
And it was that or a joke. I can't remember what club it was. And boys were sweating.
Yeah, it would be.
Like sweating
it is
hard.
stressful.
Yeah. I think I got the joke. But yeah, I actually wanted the form guide because you can easily call a race if you just put the paper over your head.
Yeah.
You just got to make it up with the. But anyway, I don't know. Well, that was the 2 weird ones that were getting around our camp. Well, thinking about football, right? Did you think you were ever going to have a cult following before you were drafted like you do now?
Nah, not as much as this, to be honest, like all the Wizards hats in the crowd and stuff like that. I did get called Wizard from a young age. Cal Toomey sort of made up when I was about 16. And then it sort of started to take off in my 18s year and didn't really expect it to take off as what it did last year in the finals and stuff like that. But I guess it's all part of the game. I enjoy it. Like it's a bit of fun and it brings excitement to the game, I feel like.
I love it. I've got you saved as Wiz in the phone, mate. I reckon it's elite. So that's where it started.
Yeah.
Cal's giving you the name Wizard?
Yeah, from a young age, and he sort of kept saying like, just wait till it catches on, And I remember everyone, like, I used to get called just Watto during juniors, and then they're not calling me by the right name, just wait till it catches on. And funny enough, it did catch on, and I don't really get cold water anymore. I think it's just whizzed by everyone.
That's elite. Wizards are great. Now, have you ever met Jeff Farmer?
I haven't.
Do you want to meet him?
Yeah, I do.
We'd love to tee that up. Someone needs to tee up Jeffrey Farmer because obviously he was the wizard and now you're the wizard. It's he was a freak as well, wasn't he? But mate, you can take hangers. You're hot. Like you are the wizard.
Yeah, I took a good one in pre-season over my good mate Seamus, which was good, and dropped an absolute sitter against Essendon.
Well, you nearly knocked yourself out.
How
hard did you? I mean, you didn't,
the price.
but you definitely hit the ground hard. I was going, that could be concussion protocol there, but lucky it wasn't.
Surprised they let me off the hook quite easily. I did the survey and whatever I had to do pretty cleanly, but that was a hard hit and cooked my neck for the whole week.
Would have had a sore neck. Well, mate, you got up.
I know. I should have taken it.
Gary Moorcroft. I reckon he's taken the best mark. Who's someone you looked up to when you were a kid? Like, who'd you want to play like? Obviously, you're a Pies man.
I looked at a lot of small forwards. Jamie Elliott was a good one to watch growing up, and I love watching like Cozzy Pickett, just like the blokes who just kick snags, have fun, and blokes. I liked to watch Cody Waitman as well back when I was in my draft year and stuff like that. So.
Where'd the celebrations come from? Like, have you always been a big Sally man?
Not as like I've always loved the fist pump, like get up and about, but I didn't like do all the other what we're doing. Like, I've always loved like kicking a goal, like it's nothing better really. And I was always the one to get up and about, but not the celebrations that Guinea and C-Mac are pulling off. I've never done them before, and I'm all for it.
I like it. Well, I've spoken to a few people and Guinea's one of them, but he reckons you've got to trademark one on the run. It's just you can't, it's a default. Like anything on the run, it's the same celebration. That's true?
Yeah. I've got one that's just coming off automatically when I kick one on the run. I've just put the arms out like that.
I reckon that's the best though. The arms out, it's grouse.
I know, it just comes off automatically now. I don't even mean to.
That's good. And then I've got so he goes, ask him about the one against Essendon. It's down the city end. He reckons there's a little dance move that the camera's missed. Can you talk me through that? Because I reckon Brado, our man at back here, he might be able to find this. But it was an elite Sally.
It was on a replay somewhere. I was watching Ant-Man early on that week, and he was on the sidelines, and like me and Cholly always like send each other like funny vids of Ant-Man, and he's done like a Sally. You'll be able to find his Sally and mine. I'll send it to you. He's like done this on the sidelines, been a smart ass, and I was like to Cholly, I was like, I'll pull it off this week, and I've kicked the first, and I completely forgot about it. And then like I look over at Guinea like after I've celebrated, and he's doing it, so I've popped it as well in the middle of the G.
Guinea knows your moves, and he's not even kicking them.
I know, and I think he could get on the replay in slow mo, but. It was pretty funny.
What's been your favourite celebration so far? Like, is there a goal that you've loved the most?
Yeah, the one against Freo last year, Ice in the Veins, down in Tassie. I wish it was at the G, but it was down in Tassie, which was not bad, but it was Ice in the Veins to seal the game, which was good. You would have preferred
more crowd is what you're saying.
Yeah, more crowd, at the G.
Speaking of crowd, what is it like when you literally turn around and you see all these people dressed as wizards?
Yeah.
It must pick you up. Like your confidence must rise when you see just a big pack. And we're talking hundreds of people. It's not like there's just 5 in a row.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. And obviously there's been some other stuff now. Like I've gone to some primary schools and seen some Wiz aligned in their haircuts now. So it's getting outrageous, some of the things I've seen, but I love it. It's pretty cool, and I'm just here to have fun and kick goals, and if people want to join in, they can join the ride, and it's obviously a good feeling, and I didn't really expect it to go off this much, but love the Wizard hats, and now they sell them in the Hawk store, which is good.
They sell them in this Hawk store. Oh, mate, they've beaten you to it. You should just get our friends Dan and Judy here to cook up some special Wizard hats and merch. That's grouse. So you got the haircuts. Wiz, it'd be an easy one for the barber as well.
Yeah, I know. There's this bloke called the Whistler. He does like all this stuff, like the Rizzler in America who does
the Riz
stuff. Yeah. So there's this bloke named the Whistler. He's got Wiz in line with his hair. And he's like comes down to our all our games and loves it.
Are you going to get the whiz on the side of your head?
Nah, I'm not. I'm
Would you
definitely
do it for one game? You should have a
Mate.
bet with someone about it. And if you lose, you got to roll that on a Friday night
That'd
football.
be shocking. I don't reckon I'd pull that off. No way.
I reckon you could pull it off. Now, I've got two more questions about celebrations, but one, how much effort goes into them? Like, are you cooking something up at the moment? Because you know I'm a big NFL man, and the Minnesota Vikings defense, they did them unbelievably well this year, and they were practicing him, and they were even showing you behind the scenes, and everyone loved him. I'd imagine there's got to be a similar level of effort behind the scenes for your Sallies. Is there anything you're cooking up?
There is one I want to do with. It's three of us, so me, Guinea, and C-Mac. I want to do a 3-1, but obviously C-Mac's injured now, and we just like sort of when you're out there, sometimes you forget. But it does, like, we sort of send each other TikToks of soccer players doing it, and NFL players, obviously, and NBA players. We always send each other TikToks, and sort of when we're in the gym on like Thursday before the big Saturday game, we sort of say, "Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," but then. We don't say it as much anymore because blokes like Guinea just go and steal them. So we sort of get.
There's a few thieves to that.
Guinea's the worst.
He's stealing your Sallies. That's unbelievable.
And then like CJ tells Guinea, and then Guinea kicks the next goal when he does it. So mate, he's a thief.
That is elite. So Guinea's stealing them. That's gross. What about post game? I noticed last year you'd always take a selfie as a group. Has the coach said no more? Who's telling you boys no more selfies, or have you guys just moved on?
Yeah, I actually don't know. We just sort of, after that Sydney win, I remember going in the rooms and I was looking through comments on something and everyone's going, no selfie. And I completely forgot we didn't do it. And I think that was just a 2024 thing. Just leave it in 2024. We'll find a new fun thing that we'll do in 2025. But I feel like, it was just a clean 2024 thing and just leave it in the past.
I like that. Yeah, keep it just for 1 year.
Yeah.
And get something new. Speaking of the Wizard, has anyone got a tattoo of the Wizard on them yet?
A few people, yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, sometimes you go through your requests on Instagram and someone like tags you in a story and has a Wizard hat or something. So there's been a few out there and they always say like, oh, if you sign it, like I'll get it redone with tattoo. So I haven't seen anyone yet with like someone, no one's come up to me yet with it, but I've seen it through social media.
Make sure you give them a real decent, Sally when you do it. What's the weirdest, and just quick before we move on, but give him a message, the Wizard. You want to keep seeing him at the G, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. Keep bringing your Wizard hats and go to the Hawk's Nest and go buy yourself a Wizard hat if you don't have one. So love to see you out there.
Love it. All right, let's get into a few people around the footy club, but obviously your head coach. What's he like, Sam Mitchell? Because he's an intense unit. Obviously, I've seen a few interviews where he said he's kind of changed his way since he's had a family and he's trying to understand the person a bit more. He looks like he's really changed the way he is around young men and blokes like yourself that love a good time and celebrate, just things that he might not have done. What's he like as a head coach?
Yeah, definitely. He's been awesome for me, especially. I know when I had those kicking errors early on and sort of everyone was telling me how to kick goals and it sort of got all too much for me and I had too many voices in my head. He sort of nailed it back to just him being the only voice in my head and he sort of changed that narrative for me and me and him have a good connection. Obviously we love a bit of banter and he's been awesome and his understanding of like as a group, he builds that many good relationships with everyone and even if you're not playing, like he's still going to be talking to you, telling you the truth. He gets to the point, like he doesn't muck around, doesn't like to like muck you around. And he sort of like the way he goes about it. He's sort of got that natural just aura about him. And everyone always says to me like, oh, like back in the day, he was a bit different to how he acts now. And I think he's just adapting to the new generation and the new. We got so many young people who different characters. I think he just adapting to that. And same as like Jack Gunston and Luke Bruce, like they adapted to that as well. And like they love it really and they're all for it.
It's good to see. And you can clearly see the boys are just loving the way he's adapting with you. Is he wearing the Nana Judy thick type of pants yet? Is he getting right behind the new fashion statements or is he a skinny jeans operator?
He hates our fashion, especially me and Guinea. He always just shakes his head whenever me and Guinea are wearing something outrageous and same as Jack. All the older boys don't understand like this sort of fashion. Like they've obviously got different generations, like they've got their styles and I've got our styles and obviously me and Guinea and like C-Mac and CJ rock some outrageous stuff and they just shake their heads. They just go, "What are you wearing?" But they obviously don't get it.
No, they don't get it. And either do I, to be honest. But then, none of Judy hooked us up today, so I do get it. But it's a different era. It's good. You've got to keep moving. You can't stay still. You've got to keep adapting. Yeah. I imagine you young blokes bring so much, just energy to the locker room. So it's kind of good that they embrace that.
Yeah.
No, that's good. What about the documentary? What was that like to be a part of? Have you watched yourself? I haven't actually seen it yet, but a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it all yet because it's sort of like we see it every day, so we know it's good for our fans because they get to see what a day-to-day life is, and but sort of for us players, it's a bit like, we see it every day. So I've watched only half of it, but it was cool to be a part of. It was a bit weird at the start, like you have cameras following around everywhere and in meetings and everyone's mic'd up and sort of got a bit annoying at some stages. But no, it's what I've watched. It looks good and I think from what the fans think, they loved it and enjoyed it. And it was put a bit more expectation for us this season, but I think we're living up to it pretty well.
That's good. It's good that you said that, a bit more expectation. That was my next question. Like last year, there was no expectation, really. There's expectation to obviously play well and try hard every week and every moment, but it's different this year. Like you and Giants are amongst everyone's lips as the top two at the start of the year, and you have both started like that. But what's it like having that expectation, especially as a young guy?
Yeah, it's an obviously completely different starts of the season, having all this expectation of premiership favourites and whatnot, and it we don't read into it at all. We know it's only round 3 and we got a lot more work to do, and we're still doing it week by week at the moment, and we never look too far ahead. We always put heads down and focus on the next game. So I think Sam's really good at keeping us engaged and only a week at a time, and he's been through it all with all the expectations, 3 peats and won 4 premierships, so he's had all the expectations, and I feel like he knows how to handle it well, and he's sort of taken us young blokes under his wing and showing us how to do it.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's funny how you said that. I kind of expect that. You just got to focus on the now. It's a very cliche answer, but it's so true, isn't it? Everyone says it at the high level. Who's the best kick inside 50 at the Hawks? Because you've got a lot of good users.
Yeah.
Just one. And they're going to be flat if you don't mention it. You can maybe mention a couple, but I just want to know if you are leading out of the square and you could just have someone with your life on the line and just put it on your tit, who's the best kick at the Hawks?
I got 2 in mind.
Yep, 2's fine. You can go with 2.
I love Carl Amon kicking at me. He always just hits me. Always last year and this year, and obviously Massimo D'Ambrosio as well, the 2 left footers, they're stars.
I can't believe the Dons let him go.
Oh, ridiculous.
As soon as he rocked up, were you like, well, wait, he's really good.
Yeah, he took a bit to get used to the program. So I'm not much to say. I was new as well, but just the game style. And once he clicked, it's clicked.
That's amazing how you've just named him as your top 2 user at the Hawks, both lefties.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just love Carl, especially kicking at me.
He's got nice flight, doesn't he? He doesn't. You know, those blokes
drill it. Yeah, he just lobs it, and it's just perfect.
We used to have. I'll shout him out. A good mate of mine, Jack Hanneth, used to play with him at Freo. He used to just kick these bullets at you know when you do lane work, and you're at training and you're trying to get some touch, and he used to they hit you on the tit, but they'd hit you that hard. You're like, mate, can you just take some juice off the ball so I can catch it? Otherwise, you just bust your thumbs, or it's a full blown effort. It's like you're in slips every day. That's good. It's all about the flight, isn't it? So you can just hit it at pace.
Yeah, Carl's the leader.
Who's someone that's built different at the Hawks? Just built physically, mentally different.
Oh, it's hard to go past John Newcomb. I remember today, me and Mitch Lewis were sitting in the gym, and he was doing squats, and we both looked at each other and goes, mate, he normally wears socks like these, but he wasn't wearing, he was just wearing ankle socks today, and we're like, mate, your calves are massive. We never really pick up on it, and then we just looked at each other like, the biggest legs I've ever seen. So he's just a beast and shows that on the field as well.
Yeah, he does. He's a very good footballer. What kind of influences like a Luke Bruce and a few other players had on your career? It's always important to surround yourself with some good people, but some experienced players. What's he had on your career so far?
Yeah, there was nothing better coming into a system with the likes of Bruce and Gunston. Gunston, early days, I sort of connected with him a bit more. Obviously, it was just there sort of mentally for me. He didn't really he sort of looked after culture. He didn't really sort of tell me how to play footy. He sort of was just there for me mentally. And when like I'm going through bad goal kicking or something, he was always there for me. And Luke Bruce is always good to learn off. He's been massive for me this year, especially. We sort of watch vision all the time, watch it on opponents, and especially after that first game against Sydney, when Wicks got the better of me, and he sort of took me under his wing after that and said, like, watched heaps of vision and showed me his ropes, and obviously no better small forward to learn off than Luke Bruce.
It's grouse when the older players like check the ego and say, not that you can, well, you're all competing for spots, but they can see they genuinely are helping you, and you look up to them, and
exactly.
It creates such a good like environment, doesn't it?
It does definitely.
And that's where you feel for like young guys that don't have that, like they don't have an older player to sit there and watch tape and ask them for advice. Even things like your goal kicking at the start of the year, like I don't even remember it, but just for like Sam Mitchell to go, mate, don't worry about it. Like just listen to this, because you start getting, the reality is, it doesn't matter whether it's, players in Vic Metro or Calder Cannons or, TSC Cup or whatever, junior programs or even AFL. There's always your family, your head coach, your old coaches, your mates. Everyone's got some piece of advice, and it starts to get very confusing. So when you got just one voice and someone that's actually been there and done it, it's pretty special to have.
Yeah, it is. It was very good to have.
Now, there's plenty of footy talk. We could go on all day, mate. But let's talk a little bit of off-field. I've got, maybe a bit of mail just come through the train's mailbox, and I've heard that the grand jackpot went off at the Richmond Social a couple of weeks ago. Can you give me some intel on that? Because that's grouse.
It was a couple of weeks ago when I was just sort of had $200 just in cash sitting in my car. I was bored on a Saturday night. I wasn't going out. I think we had like a 6-day break. We're playing Sydney on the next Friday. And I'm sort of sitting there, and me and my housemate, Tyler Sonsi, were like, we've had dinner. We got nothing to do. We'll just go down the road, have a quick slap and head home after. And I had 200 in cash. I was just like, may as well go do that. And I went for a bit and got a few features early on, got up to like $500, and then was sitting there, and just me and Sonsi were just talking away. He lost all his money, and the 6 balls came up again. I got another feature, and just kept tapping away, and got to 2 balls left I needed. And I never really thought of the green. I thought it was a myth. Like, I've never seen anyone win it. And the 2 balls dropped at the same time, so it didn't get down to the last one. The 2 balls dropped at the same time.
I caught you off guard.
Yeah, so then I was dead set just talking to Sonsi, he's tapping away, and they both dropped, and then we both looked at each other like, is this thing taking the piss or what? Like, what's happening? And then it took like 10 seconds for it to start making noises, and then they started swarming my machine. I was like, mate, we're getting out of here. Get the cash and get out.
Cash and get out of there. That's elite.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I was still in shock. I didn't really, because you get a check. So then I took the check, went home, and still didn't really believe it. And then I put the check in Tuesday, came in Friday, and put it straight to my savings where I can't touch it.
That's so good. Well done. So it's the grand feature. I don't play pokey. So and what machine were you playing? So there's some
Dragon Link.
Dragon Link.
Yeah.
What's it look like?
I could not. It's just like dragons, and then if you get 6 coin balls,
that's elite.
Get a feature. And
I know there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that slap the old Bricky's laptop, they call it.
Yeah, mate. I couldn't believe it. I still don't really believe. Well, it goes into my savings. I can't touch it.
Yeah,
so
it's good. That's
good bonus.
That's that moment would have been grouse though, when you just go, hang on a second, and then when the music when it goes off. I mean, I've never really seen someone win. Yeah, like a lot. I've heard a couple stories, but it's always good. Did you tell all the boys? You would have had a little head wobble at the club.
Well, it was funny because John Newcomb copped a massive fine, a 10K fine, and the boys sent it into the group chat legit 2 minutes before I won it, and I sent a photo in to the boys. I was like, don't worry, Joe, I'll pay for it.
Oh, that's elite.
Yeah, so
the group chat would have went off.
Yeah, they didn't believe me, and everyone started texting me like, no way. And then I started showing all the boys. No one actually believed me until I finally got the cash check.
That is so good. There's nothing better than winning, especially like with a mate. If you're on your own, you'd be like, you'd have to film it. But yeah, that's great. And then Sonsi lives with you. He plays at Richmond. Yeah. So what's that dynamic like?
Yeah, so I grew up with him. He was sort of my best mate with my older brother. And as I got older, I started playing Eastern with him, and we sort of became closer. And he was living with Liam Baker last year, or the year before, sorry. And obviously Liam Baker went out west, so I found the opportunity. I felt like I was ready to move out, and yeah, it's good. It's sort of good living with someone that plays at another club. Like I go home, we rarely talk about footy.
Yeah.
We just go home. He's pretty similar to me. We're both pretty independent, so we don't really share a word with each other until dinner time and what are we getting for dinner. So it's good, and obviously living like a couple streets down from Guinea as well. Got a few mates around Richmond, so it's yeah, it's pretty good.
It's handy when you've got the same schedule as well. Like it's
Yeah,
hard
I
to live
know.
with a mate that's, you know, at uni or got a job that might be
Yeah.
wanting to go on a Friday night. You're like, mate, I got to get to bed
Yeah,
early and get up
exactly.
early. So
yeah, it's good.
yeah, that's me. And I always find it the interesting dynamic of another player at another club.
Yeah, it'll be weird once we play Richmond that week.
It'd be good though because you can kind of get into him.
Yeah, I know exactly.
drive to the club to MCG together.
Yeah, it'll be cool, but we won't really share a word that day.
Yeah, you won't talk to each other.
Yeah, nah.
Quick ones here about your teammates. Best banter?
Best banter. CJ.
Most likely to be late to a meeting?
Culture D.
And coach's pet?
C-Mac.
And funniest sledge you've had on the field? Or you've heard on the field?
To me?
Yeah, the one you've had at you or the one you've given?
My go-to normally is, I don't know why I always say it. I reckon I watch an NBA player say it, and when like someone's just annoying me, grabbing me and all that, and like I'll always say, how was the week, studying me all week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I love saying that, and I always say like, I've watched No Vision on you, you've been studying me all week, how's it feel? And that's sort of my go-to. But then you get, for me, it's midget, crow, stop ducking your head, all that sort of stuff. And I really, sometimes when you don't really hear much banter out in the field or much shit talking unless it's like to you, because you sort of just zone out, to be honest. But yeah, I just get the same old midget grow.
That's good. You'd love it. You'd love a midget coming at you, but then when you kick a couple, you surely just go back and say, "Hey,
sure, that's definitely my go-to."
That's so good. So listed at 170 or 169 on the AFL record, because I've got a reason I'm asking this again.
I think I'm 170. I haven't actually looked this year. I'm pretty sure I'm 170 though.
So our man Dobe from the 100K podcast, you would have seen him. He dresses up like the wizard. He's your number one fan. Have you seen him?
I have seen him.
Have you met him yet?
I have met him as well.
He wants to tee up a back-to-back because he reckons you're talking shit and he reckons he's taller than you and he reckons he is 169. So he reckons there's no way you're taller than him.
I reckon I've met him, so I don't know why we just didn't do it then, but I'm definitely 170.
So can you lock in a back-to-back? He wants to lock it in because he reckons he's got you.
Yeah, done.
There you go. Dope, you're locked in and he's you can see who's taller because the battle of 169 v 170 and see if there's a fraud in the building or not. Speaking of those boys, they're very funny, and if you haven't seen their podcast, it's they do it really well and they get right around you. One of the questions was ask him if he thinks the small forwards are now taking over the competition from the big forwards. Are small forwards putting more bums on seats than big forwards, in your opinion?
Yes. I don't know if they're taking over, but I feel like they put more bums on seats. I feel like, especially like the tall forwards always going to kick more goals, and they're just the generals. But I feel like I do feel like we do put more bums on seats, but there's obviously going to be two arguments to that, and tall forwards are going to say the same thing about them. They're going to say, "Oh, we put more bums on seats," but it's actually a good debate. That.
Give us your top three smalls in the comp. Take your own teammates out of it.
Toby Green, love Toby. Cozzy when he's up and running, and I'm gonna leave a few out.
That's all right.
They're gonna be filthy.
Everyone's filthy, mate.
Tom Papley, love Tommy.
Yeah, he's a good man as well. That's a good little three. And they'd be a good three to go have a beer with as well.
I know.
I don't know Cozzy that well, but the other two, great fellas.
Yeah, he would be a star.
Yeah, that'd be great value. And we get along well with them. All right, well, let's get into our friends at Nana Judy have looked after us today, and big shout out to them. And, mate, you don't go home empty-handed, on this podcast. You always get a little gift. So I'll start. Look at this. Nana Judy have gifted you some of their latest stuff.
Perfect.
Take that over there, mate. But the best part is as well, not just you. They've given us a little gift voucher here, $250. But before I give it to you, I want to ask you, who's a player at the Hawks that has the worst fashion and needs some serious help from our friends Nana Judy with this voucher?
I could name off a few.
Name them all, mate.
Mitch Lewis, Connor Nash, who I named earlier with the skinny jeans. He's shocking, but sort of give him a bit of leverage because he's from Ireland. Guinea rocks some outrageous stuff. Jack Gunson's just too old school.
What's old school to someone young?
I can't even they're not real skinny jeans, but like they're not like he never wear baggy. So that's just automatic
Like
old
is he
school.
a chino man or something? Or
Yeah,
is he just,
chinos and just he's pretty fancy Gunson. But,
yeah, he's a classy operator.
Yeah, he is. He's a bit of a rooster.
Yeah, he's a good looking man. Yeah, he's done
You'll
well.
love to say that.
Yeah, you'll love that. He is. Gunners
Yeah, I always say he's a roo.
man.
Yeah, but he's just like you can just
So
if you look at him, he's 30. Done him a ripper. But he's a rooster, so give it to him.
Yeah, you get a little clip on the way there, Gunners. All right, well, we've got two options here. You can give that voucher to someone or you can give it away to the Aces. What do you want to do?
I'll give it away to the Aces because all the boys at the club have a bit of cash so they can buy online. So we'll give it to the Aces.
That's very good by you. Well, guess what? The thing that's good about that is there's a discount code. So anyone watching and listening, Nana Judy, the great man, Glenn, has put up our discount code. So 20% off and free shipping if you use the discount code ACES. But that's only for a week or two. So you've got to get in and get in fast. So get online at nanajudy.com. Check that out. Now that you're giving this Nana Judy $250 voucher away, how do you want to do it? I'm thinking social media, we do something and you got to pick the winner in the comments.
Yeah, get on the socials and best comment, I reckon.
Best comment wins and you'll pick it?
Yeah, I'll pick it.
All right. Next week, we're going to do something about, we'll work it out. We'll talk off air about how we give away this voucher. And the Wiz will pick the winner. You'll comment on the post. There you go. So shout out to Nana Judy. Love that. Yeah, mate, you got your Rixies. You love your Rixies. Speaking of Spring Carnival, just before we get into that, this is the box of gold. You got to just pop the lid and pick your favourite Rixies, mate, and tell me why.
Pick my favourite. We go these ones. These ones for sure. Chuck them on.
There you go. The Austin
Perfect.
Smoke.
These will go well at Spring Carnival.
Oh, you love your Spring Carnival, I've heard.
Yes.
There you go, the Rix Gold. Leave them on for a second, great
Leave 'em
man.
on.
And I need to ask you a question about Spring Carnival. True or false? You went to every single day of the Flemington Carnival and wore the same tie the whole time.
No,
Is that your
not
big
the same tie. I went to men's club and make sure I got a new shirt and tie because, some of the Spring Carnival's got a bit messy, so I needed to clean up. But I reckon Abe's giving you that info, and that is false. But I did go to a lot of Spring Carnivals. I love the racing and just going there with mates and obviously it's in our off season as well, which is handy. So it's good to go there. And I did not go wear the same tie every time.
There's a bit of mayo on that
That
story.
is
There's
so
always
much
mayo on the same one. Now, what's your favourite thing about Spring Carnival? And what's your favourite day?
Favourite day? I didn't mind the Caulfield Cup early on, just because we had a good group going and we had it well organised and it was a good fun. Derby Day is always good. Derby Day I don't mind and I like Caulfield better than Flemington though for some reason.
Yeah, it's a nice track.
I like the setup there and it's it's closer to house so.
Flemington's hard, like it's grouse, but if you're in the members and up, the champagne room, really good. But if you're in the marquees, you kind of can't really see the races, can you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I love the Spring Carnival. I'll be back there this year for sure.
Who's your like top two that you have to be at the Spring Carnival with? Like, I'd imagine Guinea sneaks in there.
No, well, he was away the whole time, so I didn't see him all off season.
Oh, that's right. He was away with quarters and
yeah,
that.
So, some of my mates from back home are good quality there. Have a few.
Give him a shout out. They'll love it.
Isaac Tansy, Matt, and we'll go Liam George.
And what do they bring to the table?
Just chaos from 10 o'clock in the morning.
There's nothing better than going on the track with your mates.
Oh, nothing better.
Have you won a quaddie with your mates yet? Like a big one?
No, I've had a couple big wins, no quaddies though. So
the quaddie with the boys is the best.
Oh, that would be the best. I haven't done that yet, and but I've had a few big wins. Say we all bet on the same horse, and we had a few big wins.
I
It's
love
been
that.
good.
There's nothing better than a big win. Why you got the Rixies on and the Austin Smokes you've gone with? Why'd you go with that style, by the way?
I don't know. I feel like suit me all right, don't they?
Yeah, it's right up your alley, though. That's the trend, mate.
Yeah, I like the smaller type glasses just to hopefully Well, a few ladies.
That's why you wear the Ricks. Ricks get the chicks, mate. That's what they reckon.
That's why I'm wearing them now.
That's so good. Now, while we're on fashion, one more thing with the Ricks he's on. Guinea doing the catwalk. Tell me the boys got stuck into him.
Shocking.
I love his little cheeky smirk. He did well,
mate.
I thought.
When he first brought it up, I thought he was taking the piss. Then I see he's there doing a catwalk and, it was outrageous, I reckon. He reckons I'm all for it, but no way, I'm not giving that. I ripped him after, that's for sure. Yeah, I generally thought he was taking the piss when he was doing it, and next minute he's see on social media him doing a catwalk.
And it was like pinned at the top as well. I loved it. I love that stuff. I reckon it'd be a pisser. You should get involved in that next time.
No way, couldn't pay me.
How much would it cost you to get that?
Oh, a fair bit.
Well, there you go. Someone listening, you have to get the cash book or the checkbook out, I should say. One more, travel. Best holiday you've been on?
Bali last year.
And where's the one place you want to go? Where do you want to take the Rixies? Where do you want to go? What's on the hit list?
Take the Rixies. I would say Europe. I haven't been Europe yet, so definitely a destination.
Like it, mate. Like it. All right, take them off. Let's get into NBA before we round out. Mate, you've been elite. We do this again and again and again. I could sit here all day. Now, you love your NBA. You used to be a point guard.
Point guard.
Point guard. Did you score as well, or were you just setting up plays?
I was not a bad scorer. Couldn't really shoot the three, but the mid-range was all right.
Do you still play a bit now?
Yeah, I love going to the park and just bowling up with a few mates.
It actually, you blow up. Like if you play properly, it actually gasses you.
Yeah, especially like when you play with your mates and you just want to smack them. It just gets
know.
physical and stuff like that.
I remember we played, me and my mate Tabs, we were in LA. And was it Santa Monica there or Venice? And there was like a couple of German blokes, and like Tabs is 200 centimeters, and mate, we were getting smashed. And I was like, mate, fire up. We ended up winning by a point. It was like the greatest thing I've done in the last 10 years. But we were gassed, like we was full up sore.
Straight ball's that good.
Yeah. It's almost like a stressy for his foot. It was all happening. All right, so let's talk NBA. We're about to head into the NBA, and we've got some exciting news in the NBA space. Which NBA team do you go for? You've already said
Memphis.
Yeah,
I go for Memphis, but I just love watching Joe and Ant.
So you're a Memphis Grizzlies man.
Yeah.
Ugly kind of place, but not really. But you just...
I don't know why. I've just loved Ja ever since he was in high school, and then I just sort of followed him through. And they went all right early days. They made a few finals, but they kept coming up against Golden State and losing. But I sort of just follow Ant and him now, and I'm sort of tipping over to the Ant-Man side at the moment.
Fifth in the East. So in the East, I should spit that out properly. As we record this one, 28 losses and 44 wins on the season. So they'll be playing finals.
Yeah, it should be good.
So hopefully they get there. They've got the team to do it with Jackson and all that.
Yeah, they've got a Wells.
What's the big man's called? He's
Zach Edey.
Mate, he's a monster. I watched him play the Lakers just last year, and he's that tall. Like AD, he was ridiculous. Like AD was next to him, and he was just monstering him.
Yeah, it's he's taller than Victor, so
yeah,
it's a big boy.
They've actually got a good list. If Ja can fire up, they
Ja
actually
needs to do a bit more. Yeah. He's sort of been a bit slack lately, but if Ja gets going there, they're not a bad team.
Just a quick one. Who's the GOAT?
LeBron.
Love that.
Love LeBron.
You see LeBron did an interview with Pat McAfee today, actually. It's great.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
Oh, it's good. Go check it out. And he actually had a little win today with a little tip. All right, who do you think is going to win the championship as we record this podcast in 2025?
It's going to be hard to go past Boston. Boston, LA finals, I reckon.
Wouldn't that, mate? That would
blow it. That would be good.
The ratings would go through the roof with LeBron, Luka.
Is just too good. Like their starting lineups is.
It's more the players off the bench, man.
Yeah.
Hauser, Pritchard, even Horford. He comes on and just plays a role. Yeah, they all hit threes.
It's cooked, but that would be pretty cool if it was them too.
They've got a great system, the Celtics. Yeah, I'd love to see. Can you believe Luka was let go? Like
can't believe it.
It's almost embarrassing, isn't it?
No, it is. It's very embarrassing. He's bowling out now. He started slow, but he's going well.
Last one on NBA. Who's going to win MVP? It's obviously it's a two-horse race, isn't it? The Shy and Jokic.
We always have this fight. Me and Guinea, he reckons Jokic, but Shea, has to be sure. I love him as well. He's dripping everything about him. He's just
cheap fouls.
Yeah, he loves the foul.
A bit like you, mate, when you just duck forward with the arm, mate.
Nah, Shea MVP.
Yeah, his numbers are huge, and I don't think. It's going to be. You'd have to think he gets it while they're on number one as well.
Yeah, I reckon there will be a bit of Jokic fatigue MVP. They won't give him as much votes because he's one of the last 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's a bit like Lamar Jackson with the NFL. It's like, 50-50 ball, give it to Josh Allen, even though he had a better record.
Yeah.
Mate, that's all I've got. Thanks so much for jumping in. And also all the best for the rest of the year. Keep lighting it up. Keep the celebrations. Bums on seats, mate. We need more bums on seats.
That's for sure.
We'll obviously get you back in the studio, you and Guinea, for a few other exciting things we got going on later in the year. But mate, all the best. And
perfect.
I've handed you all the presents, haven't I? You've given me back the voucher. We're going to give that away.
Yeah, give it away.
So just tune in here, Tommy Talks podcast. Look down the barrel for me, mate, and just tell everyone subscribe now.
Subscribe to Tommy Talks and get some merch on the, where is it? Nana Judy. Gunners, you need to get some merch as well. So
there you go. We'll slide some Rixies in there, Gunners. We'll get you looking 20 years old again.
Biggest roo.
You big rooster. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Tommy Talks podcast right here on American Aces. Hit the subscribe button. You heard the wizard. Get behind the whiz. Get the whiz cut on the side of their head. Take the wizard's hats to the G and sit in the pocket and just get right around him. But that's all we've got for today. So we'll see you next week right here on American Aces. Cheers.
Waits for it. Goal!
The bounce of the footy, roar of the crowd. It hits different, just like the PointsBet app. Now with a faster design, AFL Bet Tracker to follow every disposal, each player's last 5 stats, plus video previews from AFL experts. This is betting made for true footy fans.
PointsBet, built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.